Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, The Power of Social Display, How to Get More Out of Your Social Media Presence. I'm Sherry Cosgrove. I'm a Product Marketing Manager here at AdTaxi. AdTaxi is known as a team of digital marketing experts. We specialize in solving complex marketing challenges with smart and effective solutions. As you probably know, today's marketing environment is constantly changing and evolving. It's moving at a really fast pace, and that makes it challenging to stay on top of the trends and the technologies. So we've created this brief webinar to introduce a new option called social display advertising and talk a bit about how it may be able to drive some great results for your business. I'll start out by describing what social display advertising is. So in a nutshell, social display advertising is a process where you take social creative, and that could be an ad, it could be a post, and what you do is transform that through an ad server into a display ad that can actually then be served programmatically on the open web, so outside of the social platform where that content originated. The process really is seamless. You simply provide the URL or the permalink to your post, and then just make sure that your post stays active so that that content stays available. You submit that to your campaign manager, and your manager will fine-tune details like adjusting your image if it needs to be, just making sure that it looks perfect, creating a call to action button, choosing some text or color if that might be, shop now, or it might be learn more, sign up now, something like that, but just adding that call to action to get some good engagement with that piece. And then they'll take care of all that for you. So it's really a very efficient way to build an ad. So a little more about that. The way that it works is just that this type of ad can be created from really a broad range of social platforms. You can use Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn. You can use tweets, you can use pins, even TikTok. And that content can then be distributed out to the open web through a huge assortment of publishers and sites where your audience is online outside of those social networks. I'll talk a little more about the advantages to using this type of advertising. One of the really big advantages is it allows you to leverage your very best content. So you can take a look at your social posts, see which ones are creating engagement. If you're getting likes, if you're getting comments, and when that content is resonating with your audiences, you can then take that content and increase your reach, increase your visibility by distributing it on the open web, so it gets out much more broadly. Another really great feature is that it's a dynamic design. So you're already putting time and effort into crafting your social content, your social media posts, your ads. Take that content and use it elsewhere. It can resonate really well on other places as well. So if you're, rather than putting resources into creating standard display ads, you can just repurpose the content that you're already creating for social. Kind of don't recreate the wheel. And another really great advantage to this type of advertising is that you can really get increased engagement. It's got kind of a neat feature that you can actually display the likes and the comment numbers right on that ad, and it's coming right from the originating social platform. So kind of has that social tie-in and component, and it looks more like a social ad too. So it just kind of naturally encourages engagement, but it also links to your website so that you can drive traffic towards those places where you can convert your visitors. A really way to take a look at the way that this works was for us to take a little test market and just see what happens by using social display. So we compared the social display with standard display through a 6-month test to evaluate the impact So I'm just going to kind of start by showing a creative comparison. So when you take a look at a standard display ad, everybody's kind of seen these. They're pretty common. And then next to that, we can take a look at what a social display ad looks like. And so this ad is actually generated off of a social post. It looks different. It looks a little bit like a blending of a social post and a display ad. And it's intriguing. So it does kind of drive some interest naturally by just the difference between that standard display ad. But then probably more importantly, when you take a look at the results that this type of advertising was able to get, 3 times improvement on click-through rate for a social display ad versus a standard display ad. That's a really pretty big bump. Also, half the cost per purchase when you compare social display to standard display. We observed a 2-time return on the ad spend, return on ad spend, for social display versus standard display. And then finally, an important observation is that the order value for the orders generated from the social display and the standard display were pretty much equal. So really the bottom line is that throughout this test, what we found was that social display, you can get really the same results as you did maybe with your standard display, but at half the ad spend. So that's a significant savings and a really great way to drive some good results. And after we tried that strategy, we submitted that campaign, those campaign results to this year's AdExchange Awards, and were actually awarded Best Use of Programmatic in a Marketing Campaign for that case study that we were just talking about. So it does work, and it's a really neat strategy that can really drive some great results. So why consider using social display right now? A few of the key reasons are because it really helps you to stand out. These ads are visually engaging. They're different. People just naturally tune things out over time, generally. And when you see something that's new and different, it just kind of catches your attention. These really stand out in the crowd. Another reason, capitalize on the moment. While these are new, while people have not really tuned them out, while they're still very get a lot of interest, get a lot of engagement, now's a great time to take advantage of that. Just capitalize on that, on the newness and on the novelty really of this type of advertising. Another really important consideration is as data and privacy laws are happening or changes are happening throughout lots of different platforms and social media, iOS, there's many, many things that are kind of moving around right now with data privacy rules. And so you might be observing a little bit of a decrease in people opting out, getting a little bit harder to maintain the reach like you could before some of those changes took effect. And so this is a great way to take that social content and break out of the walled gardens, the walls that enclose individual social networks, and take that content out to a broader market and get a little bit better reach. Another really key thing to consider here is that this is also a really great way to to build your first party data. These ads are really effective at driving traffic to your website. And once that happens, you have the opportunity to do much better, much more effective tracking, much more effective collection of first party data to build up your retargeting audiences or to begin just kind of fine tuning your processes through that really critical and important first party data. And also allows for better reporting. Because these ads are being served programmatically, they can be tracked in the same ways as maybe a standard digital or standard display ad would be tracked. And so those results are easier to see and they can be integrated right into your reporting dashboard, very similar to what you would get from a standard display ad campaign. And finally, Q4, right now we're kind of in the midst of the holiday season already. It's a great time to test out whether this might work for you you have probably already seen some engagement on some of your social posts. So that would be a great time to try this out with maybe a retargeting market to reach out to those audiences that you already have some engagement with. It gives them a really great brand experience from platform to platform. They're going to see this in their social. They're also going to see this out on the open web, and that's a great way to just build on your retargeting markets. But it's also a really great way to do some prospecting. So as you plan into the future, it's something that it would be a really great thing to add to your media mix. So in conclusion, I'm just going to reiterate that social display advertising, it's really a great option for just about any marketer. It's new, it's catchy, it's engaging, and it does drive results. So if you're looking for a way to get started, we would love to partner with you. We've got a team of experts that are available to answer any questions, kind of help you learn more about the process. So absolutely feel free to reach out or get in touch. We also offer a free social display advertising guide right on our website. So if you just want to dig in a little bit deeper or find out a little bit more about social display, you can just pop onto the website, request that guide, dig into it, and learn a little bit more. So I'd like to thank you for your time today, and I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit more about social display advertising.